You are listening to the Obstructed View Red Sox podcast, presented by Beyond the Monster.
What are some of your fondest memories of Larry?
Well, you know, I found out this morning that Larry passed away. I didn't get a chance to speak to him at Wakefield's service. So I know it's a tough day, and it's been a while since I've talked to Larry. But, you know, what I can remember my interactions with Larry, you know, he was kind of an old school guy and, you know, who was passionate about winning and trying to put the best team he possibly could out there on the field or help do that. And anything that could help our players get better, you know, he was in the forefront. Great communicator. You know, I think when I was coming up, there was a lot of times you're probably a little bit shy to go and have conversations with front office people. You know, my job was to do what I needed to do on the field to help the team win. And so you really didn't get much interaction. But when the new ownership came in, you know, whether it was Theo or whether it was Larry, you know, we were able to have those conversations, you know, and it might not have just been about baseball. It could have been just about everyday life. And I know my wife spent some time with his wife doing the Pan Mass Challenge. So I always enjoyed being around Larry. And, you know, he was great for the game of baseball, not only in Boston, but he was here in Worcester and just in Major League Baseball alone. A great person to have a leadership role in an organization.
It was 20 years ago, but, you know, 2004 just meant so much. How influential was Larry in all that transpired and building the Red Sox brand?
Yeah, I mean, he was very influential. I mean, it was with the new ownership, a lot of things, you know, certain things changed. You know, they tried to do a lot of enhancements to Fenway Park that they possibly could do. And these were things that, you know, we would have loved to have had earlier on, but didn't think they could be done. But these guys found a way to do it. Larry found a way to do it. That's kind of his personality. You know, if somebody kind of says, you know, well, I don't think this can be done structurally, this and that and the other, he's going to find a way to get it done. So, you know, he was very influential in bringing, you know, the titles back to Boston. And very fortunate that I had an opportunity to play for someone like that and as well as be able to have conversations and consider a friend.
Do you recall the sense of pride he had on the Red Sox and specifically that 04 run?
I think that was just his demeanor was, you know, it was the same thing that I had. I wanted to win. And, you know, I wanted to do everything that I possibly could to help the team win. And that's the way his mindset was, whether it was ball players that were needed that were in free agency or whether it was upgrading the clubhouse, you know, the hitting facilities, anything and everything that we needed to go out there and put the best foot forward on the field. And because not only was it that, you know, he wanted to do that for the organization, like us all, we want to do it for the fans. And, you know, we got the best fans in baseball. And whether you're here in Boston or whether you go out to L.A. and we're playing in L.A. when all of a sudden you see 10, 15,000 Red Sox fans invading a stadium, or when you go down to Baltimore and you got more Red Sox fans than you do Oriole fans, like we've had several years where the chants of "Let's go Red Sox" were drowning out the Orioles chant. So, you know, he's instrumental in that. Why? Because, you know, he put us in a position as players to go out and have success.
Trot, have you been looking forward to this summer, given all the kind of the focus on the 20 years and getting to be around people that you had those memories with, and that is the nostalgia factor for this season been something you've been looking forward to?
Be honest with you, I didn't know it until Derek Lowe, of all people, told me about it. I was like, what are you talking about, 20 years? And it just didn't dawn on me. You know, most of us go and have everyday life, you know, and, you know, I'm traveling around watching my boys play at NC State. They're both playing baseball there. And but to be able to come back up here, open the season up and be in 20 years, it's amazing how fast time, flies, so to say. And I can't believe it's 20 years. It's a reminder how old I'm getting. And but it's going to be a lot of fun to reconnect with a lot of players that I haven't seen in years, and some of them, and I may not have seen them for 20 years. So, but it's great. I think it's for me, being able to be on a championship team was what I really wanted to do. It's all I wanted. I wanted to bring a championship to Austin, not just me, obviously, with the teammates, but I think it's important for the fans because these are the people that kind of pushed us on a daily basis. If you struggle, if you did things out there, if you threw the ball in the stands with 2 outs instead of 3.
Who did that?
Me. They would remind me on a daily basis, but I knew where it was coming from. They expected you to go out and play the game, play it the right way, and play with a certain effort level, and that's what I wanted to do. Maybe I didn't do that on a daily basis, but they're the ones that I really want to do that for.
What do they remind you of now? Now that is not your signature thing, but the fact that you guys won a championship. When you see fans, when you encounter them someplace, what do they bring up to you when they see you now?
When fans can recognize me now, when I'm up here, it's deep down. It's a tremendous appreciation for them, and when you're walking around town, when you're playing, you can have a hat on. So what I figured was don't wear a hat around town because they're accustomed to seeing you with a hat on every day, so they know what you look like from here down. But for nowadays, even if I'm in North Carolina and I run across somebody who's from Massachusetts and they stop me and quietly talk to me, and I'm like, wow, it's just amazing. First of all, I'm 20 pounds heavier, or maybe 30 pounds heavier. And
I was going to say, they even recognize you.
I'm surprised they can, but that's just that's what it's like playing up here.
So it's not true that you never had to buy a beer again? that was always what they said would happen.
I've probably bought a few beers, but I don't need them to buy me beers. But it was a dream come true, not only win a championship, but to be able to play in an atmosphere like Fenway Park for the 10 years that I did, or maybe a little bit less than that. Was the greatest thrill because I've played with guys who have been in other organizations that have not sold it out and had the atmosphere like we've had at Fenway, and I said this is what it's like, and you can't ever tell somebody how much you appreciate that, and I do, and because I've seen other ballparks that are. I watched the game last night. It's going in Oakland, and there's like 800 people there. And one of my best friends is the pitching coach for the Oakland A's. But obviously, when you come back home and you have that packed house every night, and it's, if you could have 100,000 seat stadium, I bet you they'd back it out too.
Was it at all relieving that Kurt said right away that he wasn't going to come to keep the focus on Wakefield, that there wouldn't be that natural distraction that might come from that? Was that at all something that just allowed it next week to give Wakefield the due without having any sort of side distraction for it?
I don't think that would have affected me. I know what Timmy meant to me, and I know what Timmy's teammates meant to him, and everything that happened with that was very unfortunate. And could have been worded differently, but I don't think there was. Hopefully, there was no ill will towards that. And I still can't believe when I say Timmy's name that he's not here, and his wife Stacy, and I believe Stacy really wanted the team to be together, and considering everything that they went through with that, and she'll not being here, that's his decision. It wasn't anything that we asked for or anything like that, and I didn't know until Sarah McKenna told me. So, but I'm going to come up and enjoy the time and reflect with this team and the great times that we had, and there'll be some guys that are probably not here. I don't know who all's coming, but I know Wakey will be here. with us in spirit, and so will Stacy.
What are some of the moments that still stand out about that run? Is it your swing in Game 4? Is it the marathon of the Yankee series? What still really is most prominent to you 20 years later?
The brotherhood that we had, how much we cared for each other, and then beating the Yankees when they were up 3-0. That was the biggest thing.
Someone walked into your house. Are there mementos or souvenirs or things keepsakes that you took from that season or that championship that are prominently displayed?
Yeah, the glove, the shoes, the glove that I used all year, the shoes, the hat. One of the shoes that I wore in the first game, Puma made them for Johnny and and I wore them for an inning and then put my other shoes back on. So they were getting used. The bat, and then I bought one of the replica trophies, obviously World Series trophies that you could purchase. But so yeah, those are all, and I got a bunch of autographs from other players that I've respected over the years. But and every now and then, you'd see what is it, the 30 for 30. The 4 days in October. So,
do you wear the ring?
The ring won't fit. I don't know how to get it. It won't fit on my knuckles, or I guess it's swollen so much that I can't wear it anymore. And I'm glad that you brought that up, because I was really pissed when I was on the plane up here that I forgot my World Series ring. And my wife bought me a necklace to be able to wear it there. I was like, this is embarrassing. So. But usually to events, I'll bring it. I'll have it in my pocket and so forth, so some people want to see it. But I figure most of the fans up here have already seen it before.
Trot, obviously a somber day with Larry's passing, but I want to go back 28 years when you first got drafted by the Red Sox, kind of your minor league days. I think you started with the Paw Sox in '98. Can you tell us about some of your early memories, minor league baseball, and being back in a minor league park today?
Yeah, I was just looking at the photos out there in '97 and '98 when I was in Pawtucket at the time, and I had a blast playing in the minor leagues, and especially in Pawtucket. It would have been the same thing here. The one thing that I remember, obviously, back then was Ben Mondor, which would have been, Larry Lucchino here. He was like a father figure, a grandfather figure to all the players. He cared about them, whether you're there for 1 year, you're in and out as a minor leaguer, or if you've been somebody who's been in the organization for years. But that's what, kind of that your home feeling. I'm comfortable here, and I'm sure this place feels the exact same way, these players, that they feel like they're at home. They got, we had a lady who cooked meals and so forth after the game, and she was like our mother. It felt like, you got a mom away from your mom, but just a great atmosphere, a beautiful park out there. I mean, this is the first time I've been here, and believe it or not, but yeah, this has been a great place to come to play, whatever it is, where they play 140 games, 42 games, 70 games at home here. It'd be an awesome place to play.
Can you be an NC State fan?